Hello everyone, this is ABcreative. I hope you're all good. Now this is going to be something special today because Valentine's Day is coming and I just want to thank you so much for all your lovely messages and the comments. I am so grateful. So I've just decided to make a heart today. I am going to frame the heart. So this is the size. I've got the frame like this and I am going to paint on a plastic sheet. I was going to draw a heart freehand, but then I found a template. I made a resin heart some time ago, so I think I might go over or maybe slightly tiny bit bigger than this, but roughly this size. So I'm just going to trace it now. So this is the exact size, and I'm going to add maybe a centimeter over the lines. Probably not too much. Maybe I want it a bit more chunky to make it more interesting. This is not a permanent marker, so if I don't like it, I'll just see how easily it rubs off. I'm just touching it with my finger. This is whiteboard marker. I think that will be the right size, and I have to be sure that I've got the same space. Yep, so that's it. I can go over with a permanent marker now. Well, last time I was making a template, I was using painter's tape to make my own stencil, and one of my lovely subscribers suggested this. I haven't tried it before. It's a nice feel to it. It's like really silky satin feel. I think it's going to work similar to contact paper. Let's have a look. So I don't need that much. I'm just going to cut it. I'm going to try and just put it upside down, and hopefully my heart will transfer without me doing anything. It doesn't work, so what I'm going to do, well, just flipped it over and I am going to trace the heart. You can see the lines very clearly. I could have taped it to the table, be more comfortable, but I'm slightly impatient, so done. Now all we need to do is just cut the heart out very carefully because I want to preserve the outside. I could use a cutting tool, but I can also use scissors. Once you make a gap, I'm going to tape my plastic to the table. Make sure it's completely flat. Okay, so once this is ready, I am going to now peel this frisket paper and stick it on. Peels off really nicely. Okay, if I do it this way, section by section, that should be, oh yes, that's a good idea, just like this. Okay, so far I'm very happy with it. Just making sure the edges are nicely stuck. And it's ready to pour. These are the colors I'm going to be using today. So we've got Arteza White, we've got Pearl Amaranth Red, Arteza Gold, and I also have Alizarin Crimson Hue by Liquitex. This paint is heavy body, so we will need more of your pouring medium. I also have Deep Violet and Dalla & Rowney. And now I mixed my own hues as usual using these colors. So this is the Crimson Hue, and when I added a bit of Deep Violet, I managed to make this sort of nice berry looking shade. If you want to see me mixing all my paints, there's a section at the end of the video where you can see all the proportions and the ingredients. This is the Floetrol that I use, that's the British Floetrol. And I also, this is my favorite glue, which I mix with water. So these two colors will be for my background. I'm going to spread the lighter color here Here's my palette knife. Some nice sort of raspberry blueberries and my darker color. And the midsection will be a combination of both. Just trying to cover the area where the edges are. There is no silicone in the paint, so I'm not sure why I'm still getting some cells. Okay, I think I'm going to leave them like this. So now I am going to apply some of the white paint. This will be the outer circle of my flowers. I think I might do maybe 5. Can always add more. Maybe I will leave the space for a smaller one later on. Now I am going to use this dark berry color. Maybe I should do some of them in a different way. So how about adding some red to these, make them slightly different. You basically layer your colors the way you like. Time for gold. Oops, gold in the middle. A bit too much perhaps. Actually, I am going to add just a different one here and a bit of white and gold. I do like the colors, but let's just hope that the balloons will work well. I do have a bigger balloon and a smaller one. As you can see, this is a really old balloon, but I still, yeah, let's just try this one first. This was my favorite one. I also have a really tiny old one. I'll just try. Okay. When you have this nice paint here, you can press it down on a card and then use it for your jewellery pieces later on. That's so pretty. They're quite pretty. I don't like this one only. So I've got some really nice ones for later. I think that's nice. Now I think I need a baby one here. Really small one. And something in the middle. And now I want to create a really small one. I'm going to use my very old faithful balloon. Almost disappeared. Let's see if we torch it. You can probably see them popping up a bit. Some of the cells appearing. And as I mentioned, though, there's absolutely no silicone. So at the moment they look like this. I was trying to torch them a bit more, but I think I'll just leave them. I quite like the colors. See when they are dry what happens, and then we can always, once they are dry, I can always embellish them a bit. But at the moment I think I'm pretty pleased with them. I forgot to add something. If we want some sort of nice inside, you can add a few more drops of gold just to the inside to make them look more interesting. So this is all the wet paint. See, so many little cells. So once it gets dry, well, I hope that the metallics will be really nicely shiny. So it's completely dry now, but I want to show you something before I peel it off. I was planning my flowers to be sort of, I wanted the petals to be sort of full. I wanted them to resemble the rose petals, so I'll show you them from up close. So you can see quite big chunky petals like these. So I got this effect because I've got quite a big puddle of my color paint and the background was, I would say, considerably thick. Now, if you don't have much paint on your balloon and not much paint on the background, you will get something more like this. So this was completely dry. And as you can see, you get more wispy and sort of feathery looking flowers. But I did not want that for my roses, so I'm actually quite happy. I can still embellish them now. I always tell my students, you know, you don't have to finish something when you're not happy with it. So if you think you can make it look better, always go back and embellish. So for example, I can add a tiny bit of white just between the petals to make them more visible. You can use gold, you can use silver. Gold is really nice and shiny. So I could go and add some gold embellishment perhaps. Well, time to peel it off. Now, I've just cut this section with my cutting tool, and to be honest, if you're worried that you may rip the paint, you can just cut around the image as well. Let me just test it. Oh, it peels off really nicely. Very satisfying. Can fix the imperfections later. Oh, so far so good. Maybe I'll just go over this section. This frisket paper actually peels off really easily, I must admit. Just want to make sure that the corner is nicely done. Oh, I'm losing half of my flower. And a few petals here, but it doesn't matter. Oh, just a little bit of paper left here. Let me just cut it. Well, so far, wow, it's looking good. Okay, I've got a very, very tiny imperfection here. And I think I am going to add a bit of a shimmer of some mica powders to some of the petals. I've got this box of 60 mica powders that I haven't used much. I've got a whole selection, some really nice colors. Might go for some vibrant pink. That's my selection. I think I'm going to pick 3 colors, one for the darker pink, for the darker kind of magenta. I think this one would look really nice. That's light plum, flamingo, and one of the reddish ones, raspberry. I think raspberry red. Okay, let's see. I am going to mix them just with a tiny bit of pouring medium. I haven't done it before, so this is going to be my experiment. This is the pouring medium I'm going to use, just to sort of dilute the mica powder. Oh, by the way, I strongly recommend, if you're using mica powders, use a mask, because this powder is so fine you can actually breathe it in. So it's much safer if you wear a mask. I might be a little bit muffled now in that mask. Let me go with the light plum first. I am just going to use my palette knife. We are talking a really small amount. You can always add more. The pouring medium looks white, but once it's dry, it should be transparent. Well, that's what I'm hoping. I just want a little bit of a shiny glaze on my petals. Using a brush. I'm not going to paint all over, just in some sections. Now this one. Now this is the flamingo color. This is probably going to be my lightest color. Of course, you don't have to do any of this. I'm just kind of playing with the flowers and making them more interesting. So let me check. I'm going to frame it in a minute. I'm just checking the size. I think that will be perfect. I'm going to clean the film a bit, and I think I'm going to varnish the heart as well. Show you some close-ups before I frame it, so you can see all the detail. They're like roses mixed with orchids, I think. Can you see that? Wow. So now I'm going to frame it. And now for the final piece. Well, I hope you enjoy the process and you like the heart. Well, happy Valentine's Day, everyone. This heart is for you. Thank you so much for all your lovely comments and for your support. I actually have two more hearts, I'll show you. Well, you saw the blue one at the beginning, but I also made one on a piece of wood, and this is covered with resin, lighter flowers. So yeah, well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please press like and don't forget to subscribe. If you also click the notification button, then you will know when my new videos is coming on Saturday. And during the live premiere, I talk to my followers and you can ask me lots of questions. Well, thank you again and bye-bye. Well, I make my own pouring medium, which is half water, half PVA glue. Another name for PVA glue would be Elmer's glue or wood glue. Then I mix my pouring medium with paint, 2/3 of medium, 1/3 paint. In the end, I add a dash of floetrol, which constitutes 10 to 20% of the total volume. Now this is the right consistency for most of the pouring techniques that I do. When the stream goes down, as a tiny build-up disappears quickly. I call it the runny honey consistency.